Welcome to the Ebbs of History, the show where we dive into the strangest, wildest, and sometimes downright creepiest stories the past has to offer. From dancing plagues to pirate queens, you'll laugh, you'll gasp, you'll even groan at my impeccable dad jokes. But, most importantly, you'll learn how history is way cooler than your textbook ever told you.
We're your history-loving hosts, Zoe,
Gavin,
And I'm Jason. And in every episode, the three of us will take a quick trip through time and see what lessons we can still learn today. This is the Ebbs of History. Welcome back, history lovers. We're so glad you're here. How was everybody's week?
good. We had Camp Curtain Call. Last time we recorded, we weren't doing it, but we both of us were counselors.
at like a theater, musical theater camp
Yeah,
this past week. And
2 weeks.
Gavin is finished with his session, but I still have a camp left. I'm very excited to start.
It's a 2-week camp,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But she
So-
has 2 of them.
What show did you guys do this past 2 weeks?
I don't know if any of our listeners are going to know.
Well, because I didn't. And when we follow musical theater pretty closely.
Yeah. It's called Dear Edwina, and it was the junior version.
Mhm.
It was really cute. It's an advice-giving show, and people write in, and all the songs are from the letters that these kids are writing in, and it's really, really cute.
It sounded really good from listening to you guys walk around the house the past 2 weeks singing the songs and talking about it. I really want to see the actual.
I really liked it.
That's good.
But we just saw the Odyssey today.
Yes.
That was a life-changing movie. And Spain just won the World Cup.
Oh yeah.
It's a big day.
A lot of things happened today.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the Odyssey?
10,000.
You've liked it that much?
I really enjoyed it. The music alone was a 10.
Yeah, the music was really good.
Oh my God.
That's Christopher Nolan movies in general.
Yeah.
It really hasn't had time to sink in for me, you know?
Right, because we just finished watching it like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Because the thing is I knew the story before I read it in English class, but it came to life. It was like 2 years ago when I read it. So it was like the world was coming back to life. Because when I first read it, I was really confused. But the way
Right.
he did it, it was so easy to understand.
It wasn't linear, which kind of helped.
Yeah. No, because I was
Yeah.
like, the first like couple minutes of the movie, you're with Penelope and Telemachus. And like, if I remember correctly, that's not how
No.
it is. I was like, I really enjoy that they're starting
Mhm.
here because you learn about them so much later on in the story chronologically. And it's just, I really enjoyed that they started there and you got the backstory of how the wife was feeling, how the son was feeling. I don't know. It made them more human to me because they were kind of just like such big figures in the Odyssey. But I don't know. They humanized it for me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how stacked the cast was.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Oh
people
my
in it.
god.
Yeah.
There was Tom Holland. There was Anne Hathaway. There was Zendaya. Like,
Mhm.
there was everyone.
Everybody. John
And-
Leguizamo did a
Anyone
really
who's
good
anyone
job.
was in that movie, kind
Yeah.
of.
Who played Odysseus?
That was Matt Damon.
Okay. Matt Damon. Just like everyone.
Yeah. All right. So before we start today, I've got a little bit of a fact check. Not really a fact check, but more of a extra fact to help you understand something from the Radium Girls episode.
Ooh.
Listener Mosif brought up a point about Zoe's Radium Girls episode. Remember when you said what the girls each got after their company settled with them?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't remember the exact number, but I remember it was like 10,000,
It
and then
was-
they got a yearly pension.
It was $10,000 base payment and then medical bills and a pension of sorts until they died. Well, Mosif's point was that $10,000 didn't really hit all that well,
Mm-hmm.
like how much that is, because this was in 1928.
Oh yeah,
So how much do you think $10,000 would have been today?
we weren't adjusting for inflation.
No, we were not.
I'd say like about like
20 million. I went high.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like I'd say 500,000.
Gavin, you're closer. It was only $195,000.
That's crazy.
It's like
It's still not
it's
enough.
better than 10,000, like, because that's how we what we said. it's still not enough to cover what those girls went through.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean-
like,
No amount of money really is good enough
yeah,
for corporate greed, but
Here we are.
yep,
like that's
it's a little
like
bit different than 10,000.
not
Yeah.
enough to like buy a house today. you
Right.
know?
Well, back then you probably could have, but no, you're right. Today it would not been able to buy even a house. You're right.
Not even a condo.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
All right, so that's to say thanks, Mosa, for the tidbit on how we can really make things hit a little bit harder. So in the future, in my next,
Hard-hitting journalism.
I've already written the next episodes up through October, and I
Written?
know written. Yes, they're all done and ready to go.
Oh my god.
They all include inflation numbers.
If there's a
When-
number.
If there's a number, yes. All right, let's dive into today's topic. In 1835, a New York newspaper told the world that a famous scientist had spotted unicorns, beach-loving beavers, and flying bat people living on the moon. The wild part? Almost everybody believed it. Picture New York City in the summer of 1835. No phones, no TV, no internet, no group chat. If you wanted to know what was going on in the world, you bought a newspaper. And the hottest newspaper in town was a scrappy little thing called The Sun.
You spoke to the owner of the Sun.
I put
you
a little...
spoke to God.
I put a pause in here in my script just because I knew you guys were going to do that. Now, The Sun was special. It was one of the very first penny papers. Zoe, you want to guess why they called it that?
Because it cost a penny.
Oh, it cost exactly 1 penny.
How about we adjust that for inflation? How much?
I'm not going to do that. Before The Sun came along, newspapers cost around 6 cents and were sold by subscription to fancy rich people.
Before the sun came along, there was no.
It was dark.
It was dark.
But a publisher named Benjamin Day had a different idea. He printed his paper cheap, packed it with crime stories, scandals, and weird true tales, then had kids called newsboys sell it on the street corner for a penny a pop. Suddenly, regular working people could afford the news. The Sun became wildly popular, which means Benjamin Day became very interested in one thing: selling more papers. Enter our main character, a writer named Richard Adams Locke. Locke was smart, sneaky, and a little bit fed up. See, in those days, a lot of the so-called scientists were running around making big claims with zero proof. One super popular writer, a Scottish minister named Thomas Dick, basically declared that the moon was home to over 4 billion people. 4 billion. With no telescope on Earth, powerful enough to actually check, folks just believed him. And why? Because he sounded confident and used fancy words.
That is the power of persuasiveness
And it's the power of confidence.
and
How much
charisma.
people was it again?
4 million people.
4 million, okay.
No, 4 billion.
Oh, sorry.
He said the moon was home to over 4 billion people.
At that point, is that more than Earth? Like at that point in history?
I think it may have been, yeah. So
Because
what?
right now, if that's true, it would basically have doubled since then.
the
no,
population, of the
population
moon?
has exponentially grown.
I know it exponentially
Okay,
grows, but
got the
still
number
it's
here.
a lot.
In 1835, the global human population was estimated to be between 1.04 and 1.05 billion.
Yeah, that's
What?
So he's claiming that on the moon,
4 times.
There's
4 times the amount of people that are on Earth
I
at
thought.
this time.
I guess,
Wow.
bro.
All right, so this claim drove Locke up the wall. So he decided to write a story so ridiculous, so over the top, that everyone would obviously realize he was making fun of those puffed up science claims. It was supposed to be a satire, a joke, a great big, come on people, think harder. That is not what happened though.
Oh. Wow.
On August 21st, 1835, The Sun ran a tiny teaser. It said a brilliant real-life astronomer named Sir John Herschel had made, quote, astronomical discoveries of the most wonderful description. Here's the sneaky genius part. Sir John Herschel was a totally real, totally famous scientist at the time. His dad had discovered the planet of Uranus. John Herschel was real. And at that exact moment that this satirical article came out, the real Herschel was on a real expedition at the Cape of Good Hope. way down at the southern tip of Africa doing real astronomy. He was thousands of miles away with no way to quickly say, that wasn't me that said that. Perfect cover. Locke claimed his big story had been reprinted from a respected science magazine called the Edinburgh Journal of Science. Sounds legit, right? Here's the punchline. Only a few people knew. That journal had stopped publishing 2 years earlier. It was basically a ghost, but the name still sounded fancy and trustworthy and with confidence, so nobody questioned it. Then, you can see where this is going, right?
Uh-huh.
Then, starting on August 25th, the discoveries dropped. 6 articles over 6 days, each one wilder than the last. The articles describe Herschel's incredible new telescope. They said it weighed nearly 7 tons and could magnify things 42,000 times.
Ooh.
For comparison, that would have made it more powerful than telescopes that we have today. In 1835, supposedly built by hand. That should have been clue number 1.
Yeah. Guys.
Yeah. Come on.
Let's use our brains here.
Locke even claimed the telescope had a bonus gadget bolted on, a, quote, hydrogen-oxygen microscope that projected the moon's surface onto a giant canvas screen, like the world's first movie theater.
I mean, that's cool. If that was real, that would be really cool. Has it happened yet now?
None of this is how telescopes work. But Locke spent so many paragraphs describing screws and lenses and tonnage that readers' eyes glazed over and their brains went, wow, sounds official. That was the whole trick. Bury a wild lie under a mountain of boring technical-sounding detail. But people were too busy grasping at what the telescope saw. First, dark red poppy-like flowers, the very first living things ever spotted on another world. Then, forests, beaches with white sand, blue oceans with tides, then animals. Oh, lots of animals. There were little bison with a fleshy flap over their eyes, like built-in sunglasses, to handle the moon's harsh light, of course.
Obviously.
There were tiny blue goat creatures with single horns, basically moon unicorns, frolicking around like playful kittens. The article said that the astronomers were charmed to pieces watching them.
Charmed to pieces.
And then came the beavers. Not regular beavers. These are moon beavers.
Ooh.
They walked upright on 2 legs, carried their babies in their arms like people do, and instead of building dams, they built little huts. And get this. The article said you could see smoke coming out of the huts, which meant that the moon beavers had figured out fire.
Oh my God.
Fire-using, hut-building, baby-cradling beavers on the moon.
Oh my God.
My note just says here, moon beavers.
Moon beavers, that's all you need.
Like,
Says it all.
yeah, moon beavers.
Just when readers thought it couldn't get bigger, a 4th article, the one a lot of people think is the most famous, revealed the showstopper. Intelligent, human-like creatures with the wings of a bat. They stood about 4 feet tall, covered in copper-colored fur, and they flew, talked, built temples, and made art. The astronomers supposedly named them Vespertio Homo, which is Latin for Batman.
Oh. Is that what Batman's based off of?
Can you
No.
say that Latin word again?
It is Vespertilio Homo. They even gave the gorgeous valley where they lived a name, the Ruby Coliseum. Locke described them deep in conversation, gesturing to one another, clearly thinking and feeling just like people do. He was painting a whole society up there. And to cash in even harder, the Sun hired a local artist to draw the lunar landscape based on Locke's descriptions and sold the picture as a separate print. So you could literally buy a poster of the moon bat people to hang on your wall.
Oh God.
Now here's where it goes from funny to bananas. People believed it.
Of course they did.
Not a few people. By some estimates, around 90% of New Yorkers took it as the honest truth. The Sun's sales exploded. It became, for a moment, the most widely read newspaper in the entire world, selling around 19,000 copies. Rival papers, not wanting to miss out, started reprinting the story as if it was their own scoop. One rival even invented its own exclusive correspondent, who claimed to have been right there for the discovery. Fake news copying fake news. And it didn't stop at New York. The story got reprinted in city after city and eventually overseas, translated into French, German, and Italian. Whole pamphlets about the moon bat people sold out across Europe. This is a story going viral almost 200 years before the word viral meant anything other than you should probably see a doctor.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And it wasn't just regular folks. A group of scientists from Yale University, smart people, were so convinced they traveled all the way to New York to see the original Edinburgh documents for themselves.
Oh my God.
The Sun's staff, who obviously had no documents because none existed, sent the Yale scientists walking back and forth between the printing office and the editorial office over and over, hoping they'd give up. And they did. Those brilliant Yale scholars went home, still believing it was real. Imagine being a genius and getting played by a guy going, "Oh, the papers? Those are in the other building. No, wait, they're in this building. Wait, no, that building."
Ugh.
It kind of sounds like the Book of Mormon where he's like, you have to copy it onto normal paper.
Even better, speaking of Book of Mormon, even better, some religious groups got so excited about meeting their new moon neighbors that they started talking about raising money to send missionaries and Bibles up to the moon.
God. What a
land of bats.
Nobody had a rocket. Nobody had any way to get to the moon. Didn't matter. They were ready. But maybe the angriest person in America was a young, broke, not yet famous writer named Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, that Edgar Allan Poe, the spooky raven guy. Just 2 months earlier, Poe had published his own story about a man who flies to the moon in a balloon and finds creatures living there. So when the Sun's moon story blew up and made everyone rich and famous, Poe was furious. He was convinced that Locke had stolen his idea. He grumbled about it in letters for years. He was both impressed and deeply, deeply salty, which is, fair. So how did it all end? Slowly. Because news traveled at the speed of horses and ships back then, it took weeks for people in Europe, where the real Herschel was reachable, to go, wait, he never said any of this. Other newspapers started poking holes in the story. One rival paper claimed Locke had confessed the whole thing while chatting in a bar. Finally, on September 16, 1835, the Sun quietly admitted the articles were made up.
September, what was the year?
1835, same year. So like a month.
Wouldn't it be cool, though?
It would be. But here's the kicker, and it's a big one. The Sun never really apologized. There was no giant, "We lied, we're sorry" headline. And readers, they mostly weren't even mad. They thought it was a fun ride. The paper kept selling great. Crime, it turns out, sometimes pays in pennies. Richard Adams Locke spent years not admitting he wrote it, then finally fessed up in 1840. He always said the same thing. It was supposed to be a joke that made people think harder about who they trust. Instead, it became proof of exactly the opposite. That if you dress up wild story in a confident, sciencey language and stick a famous real name on it, an enormous number of people will swallow it whole. Flying bat people, fire beavers, moon unicorns, and a whole city saying, "Yeah, sounds about right. Not bad for a penny." Historiography. So, how do we know all of this? Lucky for us, the original 6 articles still exist, and historians have read every wild word. You can still read it yourself today if you wanted. They were also reprinted as pamphlets and even sold as fancy illustrated picture of the moon's lunar animals, so we can literally see how people imagined the bat people. Where historians sometimes disagree is on intent. Was Locke purely making fun of gullible readers? Or was Benjamin Day mostly just chasing profit? Most evidence points to both being true at the same time. Scholars also place the hoax inside a bigger story. It landed at a moment when religion, brand new science, and cheap mass printing all collided at the same time. The Edinburgh Journal of Science detail the fact that it had already shut down is one of the clues researchers used to prove just how carefully Locke built his fake article. It was designed to look real. Lessons we've learned today.
You probably have this down, but it's people are just so gullible and they'll believe anything that you tell them if it's backed by if they say it's backed by science. Like we were watching videos the other day, right, where it was like how to improve your media literacy.
Yes.
And it kind of was just like, okay, the doctor says it's true, but you got to do your own research.
Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, one of the main topics of this podcast is don't believe everything you hear and always question.
It's the
You
main
know?
theme of our podcast.
Basically,
Basically, yeah. What I have is kind of
Ooh,
along
now
those
I'm feeling
lines.
good today.
The people who got fooled in 1835 weren't stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They were gullible.
Yeah.
They weren't dumb at all. Yale scientists fell for it.
Yeah, it's not like a stupidity problem. It's a everyone is believing it
Right.
problem.
They got tricked by a story
Yeah.
because it used real famous people's names, fancy scientific words, and trusted sounding source. And because it told them something they already wanted to believe.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly how fake news works today, just a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
So the move is always the same. Slow down. Ask who is actually saying this and how would they know, and check more than one source before you share. That's a big lesson. That's the only lesson I have for today. Right?
Yeah.
If a bad person shows up in your feed, your Instagram feed, and trust me, the modern version absolutely will, be the person who asks for proof. Curiosity plus a little doubt is a superpower in today's world.
Yeah, and especially today, like, you can pretty much make anything deal
With
with
AI.
AI.
Exactly.
I feel like, yeah, with the AI, with AI coming into it, it becomes a whole other thing.
More so now than ever
People
before
are
in history.
more gullible than they are, but they're also more aware of how that it could be fake. You just don't know anymore.
There's also a thing called cognitive dissonance, meaning you might know it's fake, but you don't care, and you still forward it to your friends or say that it's true because you want to believe what it is that you're seeing.
Yeah.
You want to believe.
Yeah.
And that's a major problem that we have today.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for the Fun Fact Challenge. Are you guys ready?
Probably not.
I don't know. We'll
Remember, you don't have to wait for me to finish.
see. Oh, that's like my least favorite thing now.
I've started writing my questions
you're
a little bit
losing
longer now,
now.
too, so that I can get some of them out. Number
That's
one.
why I don't like it.
Number one.
Uh-huh.
The Great Moon Hoax claimed it was reprinted from a respected science magazine to make it sound trustworthy. What was the magazine?
The sun. Oh, wait.
Zoe, do you have an answer?
Can you finish the question
What was the magazine?
that it came from?
Mm-hmm.
It was like the Scottish. It was Scottish something. Yeah, Scottish something. Sounds
Okay,
like
so
a
yeah.
pretty good museum.
Zoe's close, but I'm not going to give you the point on that one. It was the Edinburgh Science Journal. All right, tied 0-0. I'm sorry, 0-0.
0-0.
Today is still World Soccer Day.
Oh yeah.
Number 2, a young writer who would later become super famous for spooky poems and stories was
Locked
Zoe.
Edgar Allan Poe.
He was convinced the hoax had stolen his idea because he'd written his own moon story 2 months earlier. Edgar Allan Poe. Number 3, the Sun became one of the first penny papers. What major change in how newspapers were sold and priced made people... Go for it.
They only costed a penny, and they were sold by little newspaper boys.
That is correct.
How did you get that from that?
I'm just guessing. Because I knew you would get it, so I needed to kind of like do a Hail Mary, you know?
Maze.
A maze.
All right, I'm going to give you guys closest to the pin. It's not actually from the episode, it's from something else.
What?
How many people was the Earth estimated to have in 1835?
Oh,
Locked in.
You both got to give me an answer because it's closest to the pin.
Okay, I'll go first. Actually, Gavin, go first.
1.95. Wait, no. I don't really know how to say it, but it's like if 1.95 billion people.
1.75 billion people.
Zoe's closest. You're both way over. But Zoe is closest. It's 1.04
Oh.
to 1.05.
Oh, that was really.
I know.
And I win again.
And Zoe wins again.
I'm just so
Okay,
awesome.
But it was on a pin, so
Yeah, closest to the pin. So.
yeah, no one got that first question.
Yeah. This day in history. Today is July 23rd. In 1914, Austria-Hungary delivered a harsh ultimatum to Serbia. Weeks after Archduke Franz Ferdinand's assassination, the demands were nearly impossible to accept, and within days, the dominoes fell that dragged the world into
World War
One.
Good job.
Or the Great War.
Or the Great War, as it was known back then. Good job.
It was World War One.
In 1962, the Telstar satellite relayed the first live television signal across the Atlantic Ocean. People in Europe and North America watched the same broadcast at the same moment, a giant leap towards today's instant worldwide communication. And then, lastly, in 1995, comet Hale-Bopp was discovered by two stargazers, Alan Hale and Thomas Bopp, on the very same night and totally independently. Nearly 2 years later, it became one of the brightest, most watched comets of the entire 20th century.
That's cool.
I remember that one very vividly. You could see it in the sky at night.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
That's cool.
What happened to it? Where is it now?
Somewhere else in space.
I guess. No, but like, what do you mean? Like, you remember it?
Because it was in 1995. I was there.
Well, yeah.
Primary source right here, baby.
Yeah,
I was
but
there.
like, is it just like gone now? Like, where? Like,
No,
Yeah.
well, no. Do you know how comets work?
Not really. No.
Okay, so they work like planets do.
Uh-huh.
You know, like planets circle the sun.
Yeah.
Comets basically circle like that, but it's in a much wider orbit, and it's not always the sun that it's orbiting.
It's more of like an oval, like, and it's huge.
Very much so, yeah. It's less circular. It's way oval. But like, so Halley's Comet
Haley?
happens. No, it's Halley.
It's Halley?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Halley's Comet comes every 76 years. So its loop is 76 years. So that's how comets work, and that's why Hale-Bopp, we may never see it. I don't know. But it
Don't
might
really have like a timeline yet.
Right, and if it was first discovered in 1990, that would be 1993.
Yeah.
And we had never seen it before or had any historical record of it before, we'll probably not see it in our lifetime.
in our lives, yeah.
If ever. Because even like Halley's Comet I just wrote an episode, and it has something to do with 1066 and the Battle of Hastings. Halley's Comet does.
That's cool.
So we have historical records back to at least 1066 of Halley's Comet coming around every 76
is when the world started.
That's
When?
right.
When? Like, where are we on that timeline? That 76-year timeline?
It happened in 1986.
Okay.
So it's not going to be around till 2060-ish.
So we got about like 30 more years.
2061.
Okay. Huh. I'll probably be alive then.
Yeah. You probably will, yeah. I'm hoping I am too.
Yeah.
It's not that far away, to be honest.
It's just kind of like...
You'd be like 70 by then.
I'd be older than that, because if I were...
Like,
oh, no, I was 4 then.
mid-70s.
So I'd be 72.
You were 4. You remember it?
No, not Halley's Comet.
Oh.
I remember Hale-Bopp. Different.
All
right, so there it is. A one-penny newspaper put fire-wielding beavers, blue unicorns, and flying bat people on the moon, and the whole city believed it. The trick wasn't the moon. It was the confidence, a famous name, and readers who wanted it to be true. Stay curious, stay skeptical. That's it for this episode. Thanks for traveling your time with us on the Ebbs of History. If you like today's story, share it with a teacher, a friend, or your family on Instagram at Ebbs of History. If you have any show ideas, corrections, or questions, you can contact us at questions@ebbsofhistory.com.
Signing off, this has been your co-host, Gavin.
Zoe.
And me, Jason, reminding you that history is not just about the dates and battles. It's about people, curiosity, and the weird, wonderful choices that shaped our world. Until next time,
Keep wondering.
Keep laughing.
and keep learning through
The Ebbs of History.